Thanks to a fellow alter nerd, hey up Stephen, I have an exclusive. Meghan Markle's trademark rejection letter, and going through this is hilarious. So I thought, you know what, guys? Let's have a laugh together, shall we? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught my eye, and oh my goodness, let's jump into this madness, shall we, because I've got Meghan Markle's full trademark rejection letter, and it is absolutely hilarious to go through. Please, though, bear in mind, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because later on I'm going to be having DC lawyer John Witherspoon on, and he's going to be providing his legal analysis to all of this. And I've been speaking to him behind the scenes, and paraphrasing here, he's like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. And yeah, it's ridiculously funny to go through. Now, there are essentially 5 issues that the Trademark Office brought up when it came to Meg's trademark application for American Riviera Orchard. So the first one is requirement to disclaim descriptive wording. The second is requirement to amend the mark description. Third, requirement to amend the identification of goods. Fourth, multiple class application requirement. And fifth, requirement to properly verify application. It's a lot of word salad, but it's legal word salad. It ain't Megsy word salad. And so, you know, let's kind of bear that in mind. But let's go through the first issue, okay? Requirement to disclaim descriptive wording. Guys, are you ready to laugh your backsides off? Because it gets hilarious straight off the bat. Essentially, from this, my interpretation is as follows. American Riviera Orchard as a brand name, Megsy needs to abandon straight away, because the Trademark Office here is turning around and saying applicant must disclaim. In other words, have no claim on whatsoever the words American Riviera and Orchard. Why? Because they are primarily geographically descriptive and merely descriptive of applicants' goods and services. In other words, it's only describing a goods and services. Because they are geographic locations and descriptive in terms of the geographical language, she can't claim them. She can't claim the brand name American Riviera Orchard. She has to go back to the drawing board, and she has to figure out a new name for her brand. Yep. Yeah. They say the word in American Riviera is primarily geographically descriptive of the origin of the applicant's goods and services. Commonly used nicknames for geographic locations are generally treated as equivalent to the proper geographic name of the place identified. So she could turn around and try and argue, well, you know, it's not really the official name of the place. No. If it's a nickname of the place, then it's treated as the equivalent to the proper geographic name. So Megsy is screwed first and foremost right from the start with the brand name itself. She has to go back to the drawing board, and she has to figure out a new brand name for American Riviera Orchard in order to have her brand fully and correctly trademarked. Oh, yeah. Says here, the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board has stated that the purpose of the Trademark Act section is to leave geographic names free for all businesses operating in the same area to inform customers where their goods or services originate. In this case, the attached internet article shows that American Riviera is a common nickname for Santa Barbara, California. The attached evidence from, guess what, Wikipedia shows that Santa Barbara is a generally known geographic place of location. And just as a little bit of a side note, when I was at university back in like 2006 to 2008, whenever I did essays or I did my dissertation, the university put a ban on actually using Wikipedia, right? And so it's quite funny that an official US government agency is using Wikipedia. So yeah, That's that. In addition, the word orchard merely describes an ingredient, quality, characteristic, function, feature, purpose, or use of applicants' goods and services in international classes, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to quote a lot of legal jargon there. So, yeah, like I said, in other words, in terms of the first issue, it looks like she has to abandon the brand name of American Riviera Orchard, and she has to go back to the drawing board and rename her brand something completely different in order for the name of the brand to be fully and correctly trademarked. Because what she's using at the moment is essentially a geographic location. And the trademark office is like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Yep. Now, let's get to the next issue, which is the requirement to amend the mark description. And so this is essentially about the logo of the brand, which apparently was designed by Megxie herself with her calligraphy and all that lot, right? They absolutely tear her apart with this logo. And so they say, look, she must submit an amended description of the mark that agrees with the mark on the drawing. The current description is inconsistent with the mark on the drawing and thus is inaccurate. Descriptions must be accurate and identify only those literal and design elements appearing in the mark. In particular, the current mark description indicates that the letter O appears in the mark. However, the letter is not clearly visible or highly stylized, that it is unrecognizable as a letter. Furthermore, the description is incomplete because it does not describe all the design and literal elements in the mark. For example, it omits the wording American Riviera Orchard appearing in the mark. And so, yeah. Essentially, they're turning around and saying, your logo ain't good enough. Because we can see the A and the R, but we can't see the O for the orchard part. Your logo sucks. It is rubbish. Go back to the drawing board and redesign your damn freaking logo. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. And this is the thing, right? It's even more hilarious because opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, when the logo was originally released to the public, it was said that, hang on a minute, it looks like there's a hidden HRH in that logo. She ain't getting away with it, guys. She has to redo her logo. And so let's get on to the next issue, which is the requirement to amend the identification of goods. And so essentially, what this is all turning around and saying is that the wording of the goods that she's trying to trademark is too broad. She needs to be more specific. So, for example, cocktail napkins, too broad. Pans, too broad. Cooking utensils, strainers, spoons, forks, spatulas, tongs, spreaders, too broad. Soap dispensers, too broad. Gift wrap, fabric or textile. Mediation blankets, yoga blankets. Yeah, not in the proper classification. So either what she's trying to trademark is way too broad, is completely non-specific essentially, or what she is trying to trademark, she hasn't done it in the right class, in the right section. Who filled out this trademark application? Because Megxie, just a little bit of a word of advice, you need to fire them. You need to fire them straight away. This is ridiculous because I don't think Megxie would have filled out the application. No way. The next issue is multiple class application requirements. So the application identifies goods and or services in more than one international class. Therefore, applicant must satisfy all the requirements below for each international class based on the trademark section 1B. So the list the goods and or services by their international class number in consecutive numerical order starting with the lowest numbered class and submit a filing fee for each international class not covered by the fees already paid. Essentially, they don't know the international classes, the different international classes and what goes into which. Furthermore, the international classes that they did put in or in the original application, in my interpretation of all of this, they didn't do it in numerical order. So essentially, from what I'm reading here, the whole application is a freaking mess. It's a freaking mess. Next up, requirement to properly verify the application. So, you know how when you go through an application, you go through a form, generally speaking, 99 times out of 100, you need to sign it at the end. Megsy, I think, missed that memo. The application was unsigned because applicant did not provide a signature. Thus, the application is not properly verified. She didn't sign it. She didn't sign it at all. She didn't sign it. She didn't sign it. Accordingly, applicant must properly sign and thus verify the application in an affidavit or signed declaration. And then it goes through some legal jargon there of citing various articles and whatnot there. But, yeah, she didn't sign it. After all that. Yeah, so, guys, that is my reaction to Meghan Markle's trademark rejection letter. If you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course, there's going to be more. Like I said earlier on, I'm going to have DC lawyer John Witherspoon come on and he's going to give his legal reaction and analysis to this trademark rejection letter. And already he's like, what the hell am I reading, guys? So you know this video is going to be good. Make sure you don't miss out on that by subscribing to our to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, comment down below when I can get my teeth back in. Your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also, as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about that trademark rejection letter that I've just gone through, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.